This is Talk is Sheep, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Society BC, brought to you by Sitka Gear. Come along as we bring conversations that matter to you into the high alpine. This episode is sponsored by our conservation partner, Precision Optics. Thank you Sitka Gear and Precision Optics for investing in healthy wildlife and sustainable ecosystems. Well, gentlemen, here we are. We're Sheep Week 2026. We've rolled into Reno and we've got 4 fucking legends on the podcast. Oh, sorry, Colin, I'm not supposed to swear on the podcast. I forgot. But sitting to my left is the main man himself. James, welcome to the podcast. And first Sheep Week, eh, buddy?
Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, first Sheep Week for me.
So what do you think about it? It's you came down a couple days early to get acclimatized to the big city of Reno and sort of getting the lay of land. What's your thoughts on the initial impact here?
A bit bigger than I figured it was going to be. It's quite something walking through this exhibition hall, and a lot of vendors here. It's incredible.
It's pretty cool, eh?
Very cool.
Yeah. And then Barker, the veteran, is what Sheep Week would this be for a sheep show? How many have you done? Have you done 10?
Possibly. I'm not sure. Yeah, somewhere, probably 8 to 10, somewhere in there, Kyle.
It's probably been closer to 15, 20 years, but they've been sort of you haven't come the last couple of years because you had other commitments. But
yeah, it's been about a 6-year break since I was last here, and yeah, just kind of piggyback on what James said. It's changed a little, expanded a bit, and the amount of booths here, it's amazing. Pretty excited to be back, that's for sure. Lots of old friends.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And then Colin is no stranger to Reno, so.
Well, I think it's a great warm-up for what we have back at home. Like next weekend, so this is day that we're Wednesday, January 21st today.
Sounds about right.
So just over a week, we're in the Northern. And it's a full lineup and show pretty much filled. I think there's a few tickets left for that, so you want to jump on and get those before we are sold out. I think we only have a handful left, and then our salute to conservation. So we're rolling in show to show. I do love coming down to the States, though, to see how different jurisdictions do it. There is something to be said about American patriotism and their love of veterans that is it's inspiring, and it's great to see. Something we should have a little bit more of back home, but it's good to come and be a participant in Sheep Week.
Seems to be this unapologetic interest in supporting conservation too. I feel like in Canada it's like, I wouldn't spend that. There's probably people that could buy stuff, but they don't because they might look like they're showy or whatever. But in the U.S., I feel like there's this mentality that's like, no, this is for the right cause, and people are willing to step up. And I'm not saying people in Canada aren't generous. They're incredibly generous. But I feel like you come to the show and it's like people really invest in conservation. It's just a different vibe, I think.
100%. You'll probably see that on the floor over the next 3 days. Just everybody coming and stopping and talking. Like it is a family. Like we always talk about it as a family, but walking around here today, just seeing different guys from different chapter and affiliates, and you can't really walk more than 4 or 5 miles, and it's like, oh, you're talking to somebody. It's like, I don't know how far we made it this morning. Not very far.
Not very far. We were, everybody here, it seems.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So for our listeners, we just wanted to jump on and just have a sort of a quick update on Sheep Show, what's going on. But you'll hear all the noise in the background, and it's Wednesday, it's setup day, so all the vendors are in, we're in our booth, and tomorrow the show starts. Tonight's the opening night banquet, so we're all attending that, and then tomorrow we're here, we're going to be on the floor. Let's talk about some of the promotional stuff we're doing. What booth are we at? We're at 162, is that right?
162 and 166.
6.
No, 161 and 163.
No, we're even.
Oh.
If you get in the 160s, you're getting hot. So I think it's 162 and 164. 166.
6, yeah. 164 is a special sheep permit booth. We're 162.
Yeah. So if you're in Reno, come down, say hi. And we got a bunch of really cool promotions this week. We're doing some membership promotion stuff. We can't sell raffle tickets down here because of the gaming rules in BC, unfortunately. So no change there. But come by the booth, and you guys. Have you guys looked at the promotions we're doing? Does anyone want to talk about that? Colin, I think you've kind of been working on that stuff. So
I'll have to grab the...
I can jump into it if you want. But
I was going to say, why don't you jump into it, and maybe we get Hannah to bring our folder
So we've got 2 rifle giveaways that we've been running, and we're going to draw it at the Salute to Conservation on February 28th. So we've got a Fierce rifle for life members. So anyone that bought a life member up until that date is going to get their name in for a Fierce rifle. And then for the Gunworks, we've got Monarchs. For every $100 that Monarchs put in the pot, you're going to get your name in for one drawing. So if you bought a $1,500 Monarch membership, you get 15 entries on that Gunworks MTX. So yeah, really Magnus MTX, sorry. So yeah, really, really good lineup of stuff. And then we have just a membership promotion we're running. So we've got obviously great partnerships with Sitka and Yeti. Colin, why don't you jump into what we're doing here the next couple of days?
Were you talking about the spin to win?
Nope, you can go into all that.
Buy a membership, and we have a spin to win. We've got a number of prizes up on the wall. We got hats, shirts. We have some very limited edition flask, Yeti flask with for purchase. If you buy a life membership during the show, you get one of these flasks, and there's an opportunity for upgrades to Monarch. Monarch, we have a couple of flasks as well. There's 4 special 1-year memberships with a flask for Yeti, but we only have 4 of those. So the four that want to come and drop some money for Wild Sheep Society BC, we're going to give you a chance of 1 in 4 of a special flask with a 1-year membership.
Awesome. Yeah, so great promotions. So the key takeaways, come down to the booth, check it out.
Coors Light's not a sponsor?
No, they're not sponsoring yet.
Jeez.
Trench Brewing, buddy. So
Trench.
Yeah, but so we couldn't bring our Trench beer with us down here. So let's talk a little bit about the Wild Sheep family and collaboration. We've worked so closely with, the foundation is our biggest partner in British Columbia, Wild Sheep Foundation. James, you've been really active in that Seroptes project, and specifically Washington Wild Sheep Foundation. They've been an incredible partner. We already had meetings this morning. Chris and I sat down and had great meetings with Washington Wild Sheep Foundation. You've kind of, I guess for you, James, you're seeing the sort of collaboration. We see, like, there's so many chapter and affiliates that have been by the booth already. Maybe just talk a little bit about what your thoughts are on something like that.
It's it's quite something to see these people that have been supporting us and kind of put some faces behind the names. I had the opportunity last week to put hands on some sheep for that Seroptes project, and just a great project going on there, and excited about what's happening there.
What was it like? Like, what was your job, I guess? I seen some cool photos of you, but what were you doing?
We pretty much, you had manhandle the sheep a little bit to get them kind of subdued, and so we can give them some treatments, and then it's just making sure they're doing okay. Obviously, you're not manhandling them; you're taking care with them and keeping them calm as they're getting treated and tested, and then you let them go. And we actually had one older ram. I think it wasn't old, but a 4-year-old ram or something that was in there temporarily, and we were able to let him out of the pens and let him go free. And it's neat, be there, and beautiful ram, and see him go back out to he was treated before we let him go, and he's free to go again.
Yeah, very cool. Well, that I feel, Chris, with the Seroptes project, it's been a real cross collaboration with our different partners. The foundation was the first ones to step up through the appeal, and then so many other chapter and affiliates have stepped up to support us as well.
Yeah, no, the sponsorships that you guys put together, those sponsorship packages, is a key piece. And then, like you said, WSF Washington has really stepped up. It's incredible to see. And like you say, we were talking with Michael and Joe this morning, and they got a pretty cool idea they want to launch. I'm not going to spoil their thunder on that, but pretty excited what they want to do with that. They invited us to come down to their banquet in March, so I think we may be making a trek south. So pretty cool. Support one of our chapters as they support us. I think we've got quite the amount of chapters coming to our S2C convention this year. Like, I think Travis and April coming from Utah. Washington State sending 4 or 5 guys. I'm missing somebody else too, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I thought there was another chapter, CNA. I can't remember. But yeah, just, that reciprocity around showing up at these events. And of course, everybody's buying life memberships. I know me and Kyle are multiple members of different chapter and affiliates. And of course, they do the same thing, buying our life membership. So everything's that reciprocity piece. But then when it comes to actually doing on the groundwork, that's the really cool part, where all these chapters and affiliates will put money behind our projects. We'll support their projects. I think we funded a Guzzler project a few years ago. So, it's just that. And I think that's that family piece that just keeps building and building and building. And obviously having James and Corey down here for their first sheep show is going to be key, because they're the future of the Wild Sheep Society of BC, right? So it's really important. Colin got his feet wet a few years ago. So I don't know what your first time was like.
I was in shock. I know it was big, but it was like it's like systems overload. There's so much going on. It was barely in it as a director. I can't remember if I was a director. So I was just getting to understand a little bit of what this conservation business was like. But as you're talking about the chapters and affiliates, most organizations, I come from the construction field, so yeah, you have buddies, but they're also your competitor. So you keep your cards kind of close to your chest, but not at Sheep Show, not with a sheep family. Like James is talking about the Seroptes project. The findings that they have in the Seroptes is huge information that's shared across international borders. It's not the society's information exclusive. There's important findings coming out of that, and that is shared. And the amount of memberships, when you look on your life members, there's multiple organizations that sell our memberships at our events. I don't want to name them all because I'm going to miss a bunch, but there's lots of chapters that offer up life memberships at our events, and I know that we do the same. And those people will want to be, I can speak for our members in BC, they want to be involved in the sheep projects of our neighbors with Alberta, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon. We all are after the same thing. And there's not really a competition for those dollars. That's what I can see. At least everyone puts on a really good smiley face. There might be a little bit of competition for the grant and aid, but those cards are held close, I gather.
Yeah. One thing I think we probably should touch on that's really nothing related to sheep is the booth. I think there needs to be an award for the best booth at Sheep Show from a chapter and affiliate. Because I'm walking around here and I'm looking. I remember what the booths used to be like 6-7 years ago, and now you're walking around, there's coolers, there's couches, 4 spaces. It's like, what the hell?
So who's the front runner you've walked around and seen, Eddie? I'm going to put you on the spot, buddy. You went there, so.
Oh, I know I went there. I looked at Alaska. I looked at Idaho. I really like Utah's setup. It's nice and homey. Travis and April and Hadley did a fantastic job there. So, and I know I'm missing a few others that I haven't even seen yet. So, but we're down here in the corner. I'm thinking we're going to have to step up our game.
We need to bring some couches in. I think I'm going to be sore on my feet there after a couple days.
But I could say we're the only booth here, or the only chapter and affiliate that can have a bighorn and a stone.
Yep.
Yeah, life size too.
Life
right?
size.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
There's something to be said about. We've got a couple of euros of bighorns and stone to come by, and for those that are walking the floor to come by and take a look.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's crazy. It's Sheep Week's here, and so we should maybe do something for podcast listeners. What can we do? What kind of giveaway can we do for the podcast? Actually, Sitka Gear, our official sponsor, they set us up with a $250 gift certificate. So what we're going to do, what can we do? Somebody comes by and say, we heard it on Talk of Sheep, and they give us a code word, or they tell us something, they give us an answer to something. maybe they come by and tell us what year the Chadwick ram was killed. How does that work? Does that make sense?
We're tied into a previous podcast. Who was the descendant of Frank Galata?
Yeah.
There you go.
You give him a bit of a hint there, buddy.
Well, no, I didn't say who the person was.
Didn't say the descendant. Yeah, that's fair.
The descendant.
Yeah. So
who wasn't
okay.
on that pod. So
Okay.
there's a couple of pods that I think we got a lot of loyal listeners, so they would have caught that one.
Okay, so we'll do that. So you come by the booth and name drop that person. So let's go back, listen to that podcast. Name drop that person. We're going to put your name down. And, yeah, you obviously have to heard this podcast. You've had to be at Sheep Week. You've had to come to the booth, so your odds are pretty darn good. So come by the booth. One thing that the chapter, an affiliate network, is doing this year, so Sam Cunningham, through Wild Sheep Foundation chapter and affiliates, came up with a really cool program. It's basically a chapter and affiliate passport, and it looks like a tag, like your BC tag. You notch out your tag, and you get it at the registration desk, and then you go around to every chapter and affiliate, and they're giving away an Argali, a Weatherby Argali, I think it's a 7 PRC, beautiful rifle, and all you got to do is basically go and get your tag cut at each chapter and affiliate. Now there's 20 or 30 of them, so it's a bit of a job. But what it is, it's encouraging engagement with other chapter and affiliates. So when you come to Sheep Week, go to the registration desk, get one of those forms, and then go around, get your tag cut, and come see us. And again, name drop the descendant of Frank Galata, and then we're going to put your name, and then we'll give away a $250 gift certificate, $250 US gift certificate to Sitka gear. So it'd be kind of cool. So.
Pretty sweet for just listening to a podcast.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. Yeah. Your odds are good too, for sure. So, what else we got going? So we talked about the Northern. The Northern is 10 days out, and tickets. There's a handful of tickets. There's less than 10% tickets left now, but we're going to cut those off on Monday. So if you guys anyone wants to come to the Northern, this is great. We got Cody Robbins coming this year. We haven't even talked about that on the podcast, and that's going to be pretty cool. Cody's fired up. So on Friday night, he's going to do a campfire conversation, basically a podcast at our kickoff party. And then on Saturday, he's going to be our keynote speaker. And we're going to give away an Iron North Dull Sheep hunt for 2026. How freaking cool is that? Like, how often do you win a raffle and go hunting 5 months, 6 months later? So that's going to be pretty sweet. And the Northern's great this year. It's our best lineup yet. Great auction items. We've got a muskox hunt on there. All kinds of new, really cool stuff, and we've got an antelope hunt, all kinds of great auction items and raffles. This raffle, I think we got a $45,000 prize package for the 10-gun multi-raffle, and just the list goes on and on and on. Obviously, Chris Barker's not going to be there because he's going to be in his Speedo in Costa Rica, but...
Yeah, the pains. I got to go warm up the old bones. But, yeah, no, I'm leaving Sheep Week, going to Costa Rica for a week, so I'll miss the Northern. But I know you boys will have fun and consume some alcohol.
Yeah, well, we'll be working hard for sure at the very least. So, but maybe we'll get a beverage there too, and then we'll be rolling into Penticton. We got an incredible lineup this year. Like, our Sheep Hunter University is ridiculous. Raffles this year are phenomenal, and it's just going to be a great event. So we're really excited to welcome everyone. And those tickets are selling fast too. So our Saturday's very strong. So if you're thinking about booking, you better get tickets, or else you'll find yourself you'll be only going on the Friday night. So we're going to be at the banquets every night, and we're going to be in booth 162 and 166 as we so eloquently determined earlier. We've got the promotions, the giveaways, but honestly, the most important thing is just to come by the booth and say hi. Ask us about our conservation work. Obviously, that's our shining star. I think $850,000 in conservation projects that we've done. That doesn't include the incredible funding we've got from partners like the Wild Sheep Foundation, Habitat Conservation Trust Foundation, and so many others, Mountain Wildlife Conservation Society. Some pretty epic conservation work being done in British Columbia this past year, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the only other thing I'd like to sandwich in between is the special hunting permit for BC.
Yeah.
And So Chris Proctor and Heather Assange, they're down here representing the province. So they've got some pretty cool replicas from some sheep. The Rocky that was harvested, or 2 Rockies that were harvested. So pretty cool. Come check that out. Some pretty tremendous stone sheep shot in BC. So anybody that wants to look at the tag in BC, there was some tremendous stone sheep this year. A lot of Boone and Crockett rams taken.
Yeah, it's it just seems like across the board, like the wild sheep resource have been really strong this year. So yeah, it's been phenomenal. And so they are selling the special sheep permit. There's a new video that we've done out. We've put it up on our YouTube channel to promote the special sheep permit for British Columbia. The Society and Wild Sheep Foundation were involved in that, in the creation of that. We funded it. I was the executive producer on it, and they did Silverline Films did a phenomenal job on it. So check that out. They're going to show that on Saturday night. But so that sort of leads to the question: what's that tag going to go for? And I think we should make a bit of a side bet on the air here and see. I don't know. I guess what are we betting for first of all? I'd say a bottle of whiskey, but that's not going to do much for Colin, I guess. Yeah, but we got to get our guesses in. Bragging rights, is that what it is?
Is it bragging, or there's got to be something there?
Need more than bragging.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. There's been some phenomenal bighorns taken in the last couple of years, but what I'm kind of surprised is that's not taken in for a late season stone.
Yeah.
If I as a resident, I can be put. I put in for the same tag or the same opportunities. I would want a late season stone, which you could take. If I'm right, I think you could take it into March.
I think February anyway. Yeah.
So you to get in and hunt stones in around the rut, incredible opportunity for some record class world record stone sheep that come out of their hidey holes for the rut. That's what I would do.
Well, and you look like the sheep that have been killed in BC the last couple of years, they've all been bighorns, right? Like
yeah.
And they've been nice rams, but you're right, they're not even going after the stones.
They're not going after stones. They're going after.
Yeah. So for anyone that's listening, the way it works is the permit sold down here at Sheep Show, and then proceeds from that get sent to the Habitat Conservation Trust Foundation, and then that gets sent to projects on the ground, and a bulk of the projects are funded in BC from HCTF through that money. So it's some critical important money. So a little bit of controversy over the auction permit we've talked about on the podcast before. So, nothing new to discuss there, but obviously we believe in it. We think it's important for the conservation funding model in British Columbia, especially when we have a government that doesn't have enough money to do anything. So we need that money more than we ever have. But we still haven't settled on. I'm
thinking we throw $20 in the pot. Winner takes the pot.
Oh, you got to do $100.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make it worthwhile. Otherwise, not that I can afford $100, but I could sure afford to win 300. So, so it's $100, and so pick your number. You got it's the honor system, and I can go first or last, but pick your number, and you tell me when you're locked in, and then we'll reveal it on the air here.
Can you just remind us of what it went for last year?
I don't remember what it went for last year. Do you guys remember what it went?
No.
Was it 180?
No, more than that.
It was more than that.
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll figure it out.
I thought we took a hit on it last year. It didn't go as good as we were hoping.
It didn't go as good for sure.
Last year I think it was a little soft. But the year before that it was it was a record year.
Yeah, 370, 380, somewhere in there.
But that turns into 370 plus 40% for us coming because it's coming across the border.
Yeah.
So
100%.
It is a big difference for us.
All right, let's see what the drum roll says here. They got a list. They got the key ones, but they don't list the PC. Ironically, there because it wasn't very key. It was a weak year for sure, and we were a little surprised. But interesting stuff. So this year we invested pretty heavily in a whole bunch of different things. We put the new booth in. We did the new video. We've got replicas here. We focused on bringing experienced BC staff down. So Heather Onsors is down, like you mentioned, Chris. which is an important part of it. So it's all these things trying to generate more interest and more dollars in the conservation stuff. So yeah, I don't know, James. I can't tell you what the number is, but yeah, you're gonna have to. So the good thing is none of us know. So we're all going from scratch.
We're all equally disadvantaged.
Okay, so you got your number locked in?
Are we just before? Are we selling those?
So the 9 is the new 8 T-shirt. Hannah's got them back in stock. She's crushing it on the merchandise side of things. And we do have some cool 9 is the new 8 T-shirts. We have 9 is the new 8 leather patch hats.
Oh, they're warm, fresh off the printer.
Yeah, they are brand new. So, they showed up. Yeah, that's awesome. So come by the booth and check out the merch. I know we had a bunch of our friends from down south of the border asking about the shirts. So we did get them in. And, yeah, they look phenomenal. Really, really good quality. Chris, I think you're doing the sponsor ditty on Friday night, and you're going to wear that shirt on the stage, are you? Is that
Do you want me to
said?
wear that one on stage?
I thought that's what you said. No, I don't care what you wear. I'm not the fashion police. I'll leave that to your wife. But
I could usually, I usually get dressed up.
Are you going to wear it? Yeah, I think you should get dressed up personally.
I'll wear this to the exhibit hall, though. I'll be wearing it on Friday.
He'll wear his T-shirt and his fancy shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
He always has the fancy
yeah,
shoes.
Chris is the best dressed man.
Yeah, he is.
That should have been actually the question that we asked. Is who's the fancy man? Okay, so let me see if I can find it here. No, I don't. It's not coming up. So, all right, you guys got to get your guesses in. So,
Who's kicking it off?
James.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Pressure's
actually,
on.
let's let James go last because he's this is his first sheep show and he's never been here for the auction. So, I'll start off. I'm going to go 200.
I'm optimistic. I think I'm going to go 3 1/4.
I'm kind of leaning to that 230, 240.
Okay. Well, I can't remember these, but the good thing is they've been recorded
They've
for
been
perpetuity. And James, what are you coming in at, buddy?
Well, I'm a little more optimistic than Colin. I think we have some very generous people here, and I'm going to say 380.
Okay. Yeah, those are all good numbers. So, anywhere from 200 to 380. So that's a good. I think
That actually isn't. That is a good number because there's multiple bighorn permits that go through different states, governors tags, that they're in the 4s.
And with the quality of sheep we've been pulling out of BC right now, that'll be a steal.
Yeah.
So, with that, last year, what did New Mexico sell for?
1.3 million.
1.3 million. So, should we do a little side bet on? So let's do a $20 bet on that.
Well, that's not fair because I was listening to the conversation last night.
No, it's fair. You can
Okay,
say, you can. We're all privy to all kinds of side information. So, yeah. What are you guys' take on? What are your guys' thoughts on New Mexico? So that's obviously on the radar because it went so high, and there's lots of talk this year that it could go high, could go low, and I've got a number in my brain. So, and I'm happy to go first again. So,
Well, you started off then, buddy.
okay, you guys tell me when you got your numbers locked in. So are you guys good for a $20 side bet? Everyone good with that?
Sure. Yep.
Won't be able to afford to come to Sheep Show anymore once I pay you bastards out. But you got your number? You happy? I'm going to go 1.7 million, which is a new record. 1.3 was and it's blown it out by 400. But I'm going to go 1.7.
I was going to say I was going to go right back to 1.3.
Okay,
Same
that's
as
a good
last
number.
year.
That's a solid number, Chris.
$20, 2 mil.
He must know something we don't.
Well, no, Kyle knows something. If he came up with a 1.7, like
I really don't know anything, but I think in my gut, I have a feeling it's going to go higher. That's just so that's why
I think a 1.5.
1.5. Okay, so there we go. There's our range. So watch it go for 500. And then they'll be begging us not to be talking about auction tags on the prices on the podcast anymore.
Grail banners.
Yeah.
Was the record before New Mexico, Colorado? Was it not?
I think it's for New Mexico.
New Mexico.
At 1.3.
No, but before that. Was it Colorado?
It might have
the
been
year
Colorado or even Montana. Montana was always like really high in those high years. Those Rockies were.
But wasn't Colorado? I thought was the record before New Mexico was the record around 6, and was that not at Colorado?
Could have been. Yeah, good question. I don't know, Colin. I just looked it up. BC was 275 last year.
Okay.
So, and it was
But that was a
we
low
were
year.
down. We were disappointed with that for sure. So, yeah. So fingers crossed. You know, and again, the big thing takeaway, and you know, there's 100 ways that you can skin this cat, but at the end of the day, these are conservation dollars, and it's a, you know, Gray Thornton talks about the wild sheep economy, and it's like, you know, some people don't like it because it's, I guess, elitist, or it's there's benefactors that have more money than others that get privileges, and I can understand that argument, but my question then is, okay, well, what's your alternative, and what's our main goal here? It's to put and keep wild sheep on the mountain. So what is an alternative that we can do? And if we got, and people say raffles, and we don't.
Raffles
it doesn't
don't
work.
got it.
No, they don't come close.
No.
And with one tag, that's how many. Like, I personally don't see. I can't speak for other jurisdictions because I don't know what their rules are. But we have every opportunity for a BC resident can have an opportunity at that same tag for $6. What was that?
I think it's 20 bucks or 25.
Was
for
that that much?
the
No,
special sheep
It's
permit?
15.
50. Oh,
Yeah.
Is it
Should have taken
15?
bets on
Yeah.
that one too.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're pretty good with the numbers today.
But the good thing is we have people listening, and they're going to tell us what we did wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway,
but
it's
for
Just buy-
$15,
Yeah.
any resident can have the same opportunity as somebody that will spend $200,000 or $300,000.
yeah.
So the opportunities are there for everybody, and you can't deny the amount of money that it leaves for sheep on the ground.
Yeah.
Like Kyle, you said, our government funding has no money for projects. They barely can pay their staff. So when it comes to projects, it's organizations like ourselves and the chapter and affiliate network and WSF that fills all the voids.
Yeah.
So if we have to fill a void, we have to. The best way that we know how to fill those voids is those auction tags.
Yeah, definitely a great means to, and you look at it like WSF does $10 million or something over the weekend, and you know, they have different splits for different jurisdictions. In some jurisdictions, they get 100% of it. Some jurisdictions, WSF retains a portion for the administrative part of it, and you know, which it goes into their grant aid cycle as well. And then this year, Wild Sheep Foundation distributed $2.2 million to projects. Of course, BC was a huge benefactor. Again, what was $180,000 that went to British Columbia, specifically for Wild Sheep Society BC related projects. But there were other projects funded as well. You know, there was other projects that they invested in. So, you know, it's a great model, and it's a great week for wild sheep conservation. And I call it Disneyland for sheep hunters. It just doesn't get any better if this is your jam, and the conservation. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. They've got all the where our HCTF money's been spent on projects is at the booth.
Oh, nice.
So if anybody wants to come by and see where those permit monies have gone, they've got all the projects listed, funded from, I think, 2016 to 2026 or 2025, because we haven't spent 2026 yet, but I think we do that when we get back.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the cool thing is historically the HCTF funding has the Northern Prescribed Burns, the Fraser River Project, the Seroptes Project are sort of three keystone projects in British Columbia, and HCTF has been a huge investor in that. And that money's come through this auction permit here in Reno. So can't be understated the importance of that funding model, and really grateful for the partnership with the foundation and then everyone that so generously supports, you know, what we're doing here. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We got kids stuff too, don't we, for the booth? Stickers and candies, and so bring the kids by too, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, kids membership's $25 too, right? You get in, you know, these giveaways, you get to spin to win. So come by, spend $25 on your youth membership, and win some cool stuff. So it's pretty awesome. Well, I think we just wanted to touch on Sheep Week, and anything else for the good of the order, guys, that we need to touch on.
just hope everybody's fired up as we are.
Yeah.
I was pretty excited to come back.
Yeah, well, we're excited that you're coming, buddy. It's been a while, so we had to wrestle your wife down and make some commitments to her on some other levels to get you down here, but it was worth it. So you're here. So, yeah, booth 162. Come by, say hi. We're going to be podcasting all weekend. Got a bunch of great guests lined up, and then yeah, just come and say hi. And again, if you've listened to the podcast, come and name drop Frank Galata's descendants there, and we'll put you in for a $250 Sitka gift card and pick up a membership. And I know there's a lot of Americans that listen to the show that come to Reno. We've gotten messages and stuff, so come by at the booth and say hi, and might have some Talk is Sheep stickers here. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. So,
Well, for the Americans, remember, it's when they come by our Wild Sheep Society BC membership, it's almost 50% off.
yeah, exactly. It's sadly that's true. Yeah, for sure. So, awesome, guys. Well, great chatting with you. I look forward to it. Anything else to close up?
No, I was just going to tell James he's got to hold his wallet tight tomorrow, and he's walking around here. It's with the amount of vendors, like the quality gear. I'm not even speaking hunts. I'm just looking at gear, and it's.
I need to win both these bets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to go buy a fur coat, is what you were telling me.
Yeah, Corey's been asking.
Well, the bad thing is, silly thing is, he's a trapper. So if he has to go pay somebody to for a fur coat, that's some. There's some digs there, James.
Don't you?
I think only one thing I do, Kyle, is just a shout out to all the volunteers down there, like yourself, Hannah, Kelly, Rebecca, Corey. They're down here volunteering at the booth with us. So, like, you know, we volunteer because we do it all the time, but these guys are bringing their partners along to volunteer as well. So just a big shout out to all of our volunteers that are here helping support us too. So
yeah,
and Melanie, sorry.
I don't know if Mel's at the booth or not. I'm not sure what her plans are, but yeah, we're really lucky that we got so many committed people that are doing so much great work as always. So yeah, it's awesome. But all right, good work, boys, and we hope to see some of our members and listeners at the booth here this weekend.